Hey, it's Katherine from Brandequip Designs, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about our evolution and how we are evolving as a species, like as the human race. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I recently was doing some reading in which this little fact came about how we are evolving, and it's something that I never really would have been able to recognize on my own. But once I came across it, it resonated really deeply because I think it's absolutely accurate and true. So I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's fascinating, and maybe you are like me and wouldn't have thought of it on your own. So um, when you think about evolution, at least when I thought about evolution in the past, it was hard to see how we are evolving these days. Um, if you're looking for physical evidence, I mean, there's the whole thing that we're taught in school where we evolve from ape to man. However, I don't know if you watch Bill Nye on Netflix, but they recently said that that is just completely false and we've been fed lies. And as far as that goes, like our entire life. So, side note, totally should check out Bill Nye on Netflix. It's pretty fun. But in general, we're not really seeing a ton of evidence of our evolution as a species, as a human race, physically. I mean, there have been some things that I've come across just randomly about people's veins in their forearms, like when they flex or something, don't bulge that, like whereas they used to. So that is an evolution. I think some people are being born without their wisdom teeth. Wish that was me, but alas, was not. And I think that's also another sign of evolution in a physical form. But the truth of the matter is that we are evolving in a very real way as a species, but it's not physical. Our evolution is our consciousness. And if you think about it, it really makes sense because our entire life is about our own personal evolutions. So it really makes sense that as we evolve on a personal level, it affects the greater global community and raises the species' consciousness altogether, and is reflected on a larger level. And if you think about it, a good example of this, one that I don't really like, but a good example of it could be if you were to look at slavery. Once we actually thought that slavery was okay and it was kind of normal to have slaves. And then some people started to recognize, like, you know what, this isn't right, this isn't right. And it slowly became more and more common for people to realize that slavery is, in fact, not okay. And nowadays, I think you'd be hard pressed to find places that actually support slavery and think it's a good thing. And that is a sign of our own evolution in terms of our morality and our values. So that's our consciousness evolving. And so I think that's just like a fascinating, example of showing how our consciousness is evolving. Because the truth of the matter is that it's intangible. It's not a physical thing that we can really measure, and yet it is measurable. So I think that because we are constantly investigating ourselves and looking for meaning and purpose in our own lives, as a result, we're becoming more conscious as a whole. And like I said earlier, I never would have really recognized our consciousness as an evolution, as a species, unless I had come across this little tidbit somewhere. And it just resonated so deeply because even though I never would have been able to consciously, think of it on my own or put two and two together, it doesn't make it any less true. And I think that in itself is just fascinating and awesome. So I hope that you are equally as interested by that. I think that we all have the potential to evolve further and further. And the great thing is that our own evolution is affecting the larger global community as a whole. So we all have a part to play. And the work that you're doing on yourself is not just going to benefit you, it's going to benefit all of us because it just has innumerable, ripple effects from the people who you are interacting with and all that kind of stuff. So the larger or more people you interact with, the more of an effect your own consciousness is going to have on the race, the humans as a whole, and it'll help raise our evolutionary consciousness level. So that's pretty cool, I think. Anyway, I'll see you later and have a lovely day.